So then how did God work in your life? Obviously, you finished school, you got your PhD, you came to Lehigh University to be a professor here in Bethlehem, and then God called you actually to go into the ministry of Messianic Judaism and leading others to the Lord. How did that transition happen?
Well, the Lord began to change my life as soon as I became a believer. I was a very lonely, isolated person. I didn't really care much about other people. And then when I became a believer, I began to care about other people. I wanted to serve, I wanted to give, and suddenly I became a leader. I didn't know that I could lead anyone, but people began to recognize the gift of leadership in me. He also showed me that my Jewish identity was important to me. I didn't know that was important. I thought I'd become a Christian, but in fact, my Jewish identity is important to God, and I began to grow in understanding what it means to be a Jew. Then we were able to adopt our first child, our son, Adam, and I knew I had a responsibility to raise my son as a believer and as a Jew. So it was important that we have relationships with other Jewish believers, and so we started an informal Messianic Jewish fellowship once a month, so we could have relationships with other Jews, and I thought maybe we'd go to a larger Messianic congregation down in Philadelphia. But God had a bigger plan. He began to speak to me right away and show me in various ways that he wanted me to lead a Messianic Jewish congregation. I thought that was, I thought it was a bad idea. I had a long Moses conversation with him at the burning bush, telling him all the reasons why I shouldn't do this. But he had a plan, and he led me down the way to grow as not only a believer, but as a leader. And year by year, I began to learn how to become a Messianic rabbi.
So what process do you have to go through? Is there actually an organization of Messianic Jewish believers that ordain you, or how do you go through that process?
Well, thanks be to God, as soon as we started the fellowship, I was contacted by the International Alliance of Messianic Congregations and Synagogues. Another rabbi contacted me and invited me to participate in a rabbi's conference, and I began developing a relationship with other Messianic rabbis, and they have an ordination process, which I went through. And I was ordained about 4 years after we started. Maybe I started the ordination process 4 years afterwards, maybe 8 years. 6 to 8 years later, I was an ordained Messianic rabbi.